Hello everyone, I'm Coleman with Terry Health, and I want to welcome you to this month's workout. Okay, so this month we're going to mix indoor and outdoor activities. I think that as you prepare to move ahead in your physical fitness, you might want to incorporate some basic strength movements. And as a strength conditioning specialist and coach for 2 decades now at this point, I've found that there are some key movements such as bench press, deadlift, and squat that works for all ages, all body types, and all fitness levels. And they're very good for building what we consider in athletics as a good base of strength. Okay, and you build that good base of strength or that foundation before moving into other more advanced movements. So we're going to go through some of those movements, and then we also want to move outside. So one thing that I think will be very good for this month is to incorporate some stair training. Okay, so we're going to find some stairs. There's stairs all around you. You got stairs in your home, stairs at the local park. Most of the high schools I know in my state, they allow the communities to come in and work out around their football fields. So you have stairs at the local football stadiums. So that's one place. And then we have a special location that we're going to visit and do a special workout in this forest preserve, which maybe you may have some similar where you're at, but nonetheless, if you do not have access to some of these locations, these movements can be done in the home. So let's get into it. All right, so we're going to start with the big three. That's the deadlift, the squat, and the bench press. Okay. Prior to starting any exercise program, you should always consult a health professional, fitness professional, to assess you to make sure that you are healthy enough to exercise. And it's always recommended that you do that before you start any new activities, physical activities, especially if you are from a survivor population, or you've been injured and you're returning back to activities. So let's check out the big three. All right, now this first one is going to be the deadlift. In the deadlift, I want you to pay attention to how I approach the bar. I want you to pay attention to how close the bar is to my shins, which should be very close to your shins. I want you to also pay attention to my shoulders, my hips, and my knees. As I lift the bar up, my head and shoulders are going to lift first, not my hips. My hips are going to push forward. They're not going to lift up, they're going to push forward. So I want you to check it out, watch it a couple of times, and then maybe try it on your own. And just like I said, you're going to notice that I'm lifting an amount of weight that might not be adequate for you, but like I said, you can start with what's comfortable to yourself and then move up as you get stronger and get more confident in doing the lift. So let's take a look at the deadlift. Okay, so that was the deadlift. Now the next exercise is going to be a squat. This particular video is going to show you the squat from the back point of view, okay? So you're gonna see how I look from the back. Don't worry, I'm gonna show you another one where you're gonna see me squatting from the front and giving you cues from the front. So on the squat, I want you to pay attention to how I lower my hips, take my time at the bottom, and then come back up. Okay, again, I want you to see how I lower my hips and then come back up. All right, this is very good for strengthening the entire body because the weight is carried high and you have to use your whole body to control it. Now, if you do not have weights at home, you can do this same movement without any weights, or you can, like I've said before, you can create your own weights, whether it's canned foods or milk containers or juice containers, anything that's going to give you weight or resistance. But this particular one is going to show a bar on my back and me controlling it as I come down and then returning to the top position. So let's check out the squat. So the deadlift and the squat, they're very similar because of the movement. It's we call triple extension because you're bending and extending or flexing and extending at the hips, the knees, and the ankles, okay? They, in my opinion, my professional opinion, when it comes to mobility, when it comes to core strength, and improving athletics, there's no exercise that touch them. The only ones that some people I would think will argue with me would be Olympic lifts because they work the entire body. But we're not doing Olympic lifts this month. So the deadlift and the squat, very important. I highly recommend that you learn these movements and figure out some time to incorporate them. And then as you get more confident in them, then you can go to more advanced versions of these lifts. While they're the most important when it comes to strengthening and conditioning, most people in the gym, especially men, are more concerned about the bench press. How much do you bench? And the truth is, if you work the entire body and you give each part of the body equal and adequate amounts of attention, your squat and your deadlift should be a lot stronger. But then your bench press. But most people are excited, especially men, are excited about how much they bench. So what I'm going to do is show you how to do it correctly. Okay, so with the squat and the deadlift, you're looking at my hips, my knees, my back, my ankles. Okay. With the bench press, I want you to pay attention to my arms, how I lower it, how I raise it. In this video, I'm going to show you a version where I bring it down and it's about this far off my chest. I'm not bouncing it. I'm holding there and I'm counting in my head, 3, 2, 1, and then I'm lifting it. I bring it down, hold it about this high off my chest and count 3, 2, 1 in my head, and then lift. Okay? I want you to pay attention and check out the bench press. All right, so it's almost time to go outside. But right before we go outside, I got one more indoor exercise that we're gonna do. And since this month is about stairs and stepping, I'm gonna show you a stepping exercise. Now the platform that I'm gonna use is high, it's pretty high, okay? It challenges you more because you have to elevate your knee a little higher than a regular step or a normal step. However, if you don't have a platform that is as high as what I'm using, or you're not advanced enough to step that high, you can use your steps at home, which is I always like to think of like that first step, or some of the local gyms, or some of you may have at home the stair steppers, like you would do in a step aerobics class, and it's just a little platform and they have like the little plastic lifters to raise it or lower it however you feel comfortable. So before we go outside and work the stairs, we're going to look at a step, or what we call a box step. Okay, they have boxes that are solid wood, metal, or again the aerobic stair steppers. So we're gonna check out the box step. All right, so before we actually go up the stairs, we're gonna warm up. All right, you want to make sure that the body is warming up, meaning getting heat into the muscles to relax the muscles and prepare for strenuous activity. It makes it more pliable, makes it more flexible, and it helps prevent injuries. Okay, so we're gonna loosen up some areas that are commonly worked in movements such as climbing or running upstairs or walking upstairs, such as the lower back, the obliques, the hips, thighs, hamstrings, and the calves. These are areas that you will notice after doing stair workouts that are very, very tight or a little tender or if not sore, okay? And that's okay. So we'll go ahead and do a small warm-up. Okay, so now I'm gonna do a variation of the squat. Okay, this is also, it's an exercise, but it's also warming the legs up for the stairs. So this variation might look a little weird, but I would trust me, it's very useful, very helpful, and it will help make, in this particular form, actually I want you to pay attention to how I'm moving my feet, how I'm positioning my knees, how I'm turning my hips and knees out, and how I'm descending and coming up, okay? So I'm going to, this time, you're going to see me facing forward. So you saw how a squat looked from the back, you're going to see from the front, but I'm going to be giving cues on the hip, knee, and foot positions, okay? So let's try these squats. Okay, so now it's time to move over to the stairs. Now, when you're facing a little less than 100 stairs, it can be a little intimidating. So you're gonna conquer the stairs, because where you're from, you may have 40 stairs. You may have a building with 17 floors. You might say, well, you know what, I'm gonna do one floor this week, 2 floors the next week, 3 floors that we can, and build yourself up. So when you're facing a lot of stairs, you're like, how am I gonna do all of those? Same way you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. Okay? So that analogy is just saying, you see this big picture and you're trying to figure out, how do I accomplish this huge task? You know, step by step, step by step. And this time it's literally step by step. So we're going to start with the first step. And it's just like, even though we're outside, even if you're in your home, you say, well, I can't get to a stadium, or I can't get to a forest preserve, or they don't have a place like this in my home. This first step, you can do these movements in your home, okay? All you need is one step. So we'll start with this first step, and then we're going to see if the instructor, me, can conquer the rest of them. Let's see. Okay? See if I'm up to it. Here we go. Okay, so I'm tired now. Whew. It's a lot of stairs, all right? But let's just say you say, well, you know what? I want to try something like that, but I don't have a Swallow Cliff or someone like Swallow Cliff in my house. You can go to a local high school. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna show you how, when you go to your local high school, you can use the stairs at the stadium. So like I said, most high school football stadiums, they have tracks and workout areas that are available to the community. So I'm gonna show you a few things that you can do at your local high school or college football stadium. Okay, let's check it out. month, we went over strength conditioning movements that we call the big three: deadlift, squats, and bench pressing. We went over stepping movements, which include stairs. I hope you guys enjoy it. I want you guys to always remember to be safe, have fun, and keep moving. Thank you. I'm Karia Coleman with Terry Health, and thanks for joining me.